Sup, certified beauties. Nick here from Nick's Taxes, back with another video. Today we're going to talk about what happens to people who have exhausted their EI, and also in a press conference the other day where Justin Trudeau and the Canadian government announced that you must be fully vaccinated to go on a plane or train within Canada. They also hinted at a potential extension to some of these COVID benefits. So we're going to talk about that in today's video, but before we get started, the markets are crazy right now, so if you're interested in investing in some crypto, check out the link below, crypto.com, Nick's Taxes, get yourself $25 for signing up. Also, if you're someone who is on disability or struggles to get around, has vision problems, hearing problems, physical problems, anything like that, you could be entitled to a disability tax credit. Check out my link below, and they will help you, Grants International, they will help you get qualified for a disability tax credit on your tax return. So yeah, I know I don't really like talking about the current situation regarding COVID on the channel, especially because YouTube can be very strict regarding the kind of content that is out there on COVID and the jab and all that kind of stuff. But since this is a very political and financial channel, I'm curious on what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about Justin Trudeau implementing this new rule for Canadians? They have to be fully vaccinated in order to travel on a plane or train. So if you're trying to go across the country, or if you're trying to go somewhere outside of Canada, if you want to leave on or in a Canadian airport, you're going to have to be fully vaccinated to go in and fly. If you want to get on via rail, you're going to have to be fully vaccinated as well. I'm thinking that's pretty interesting, especially I'm a little bit of a sports guy, so the CFL, some of those guys are not vaccinated playing in the Canadian Football League, and so they have to figure out how they're going to be able to travel from city to city with this new rule in effect. So that's going to happen later on, I believe, at the end of the month. So there's some time for people to oblige or comply to these new rules. Also, new rules coming into effect for government workers. They're going to have to be fully vaccinated. That includes like our RCMP workers and all that. They have until November to be fully vaccinated. So Canada really pushing on these vaccines. We'll see if that helps get us out of this mess. Time will tell. We'll have to see. But that's all I'll say regarding that for now. Let's get to the content which you came here for, and that's regarding the Canada recovery benefits. Right now, the benefit is $300 per week. Each benefit period is 2 weeks, which means you get $600. That is taxable income, so they do withhold 10%. You'll end up getting $540 out of that $600. You report the $600 on your final tax return. Likely, you're going to be in a tax bracket above 10%, which means you're probably going to pay more in tax come April when you do file your tax return for the Canada recovery benefits. But I've been getting a lot of questions lately regarding people who are now exhausting their employment insurance, which is also known as EI, and they're looking to get onto the Canada recovery benefit because they're still out of work and now their EI is done. So this is the next thing to fall back on. Again, CRB was designed for those people who did not qualify for EI. So this kind of, is the next thing for these people to lean on if you're in that situation. So beginning September 26th, the EI program has reverted back to using the regional unemployment rates to calculate the benefit amounts and the duration of new EI claims. Also, as of September 12th, 2021, so this is a little while ago, but people who are on EI who have used up all of their weeks of regular benefits, they should be able to meet the CRB requirements and get that CRB at this point in time. However, we are kind of running towards the end of the CRB, so if you are now exhausting your EI or no longer qualify because Canada has reverted back to some original EI changes, then you're not going to have potentially a whole lot of time. However, in a bill that was done back in June, that was called Bill C-30, that passed in June. It was part of the budget. There was a provision that the cabinet could extend these benefits until November 20th. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. As of right now, the current benefits for CRB, they are set to expire October 23rd, 2021. You can get a total of 27 eligibility periods, which is the same as 54 weeks. But if you just exhausted your EI now and you're looking to apply, you're not going to be able to get 27 periods of CRB because the whole program is set to be done October 23rd. So after October 23rd, there's not going to be any more periods to apply to. So you can only apply for the ones now that you qualify for. You can also apply retroactively, I believe up to 60 days for periods that you applied for and haven't yet received that money for. So check out the Canada website, Canada Recovery Benefit website. When you go, check out the eligibility periods that you can apply for, and in the drop down menu it will let you know what periods are available for you to submit an application, and those ones will be open. Obviously, you need to qualify for each application. You don't get automatically put back into the program every 2 weeks. You have to apply for every week. So you need to qualify for each week as well. And so part of the qualifications for applying, a lot of you guys who have been on EI, one of the eligibility criteria is during that 2-week period that you're applying for the Canada Recovery Benefit, you did not receive or apply for EI or any other COVID benefit plan such as the sickness benefit or the caregiving benefit. Most people that were on EI are going to qualify for the CRB. The one thing that I did want to highlight though is for the CRB, to qualify, you were not employed or self-employed for reasons to COVID-19, or you had a 50% reduction in your average weekly income compared to the previous year, and that's due to COVID-19. So how do you calculate that? Well, Canada goes into a little bit more detail, but right now, for these periods that you're applying for in 2021, you can use income from 2019, 2020, or the previous 12 months to make a comparison to see if you had a 50% reduction compared to the previous periods in which you weren't affected by COVID-19. So if it's a 50% or more, you can qualify. If it's not, then unfortunately you won't be able to qualify. Canada does check this through your tax returns, and sometimes they will check for more or ask you for more information. And if they ask you for more information, as a lot of you guys know and have commented, it does take a while for the CRA to come back and approve, or sometimes they reject your application. Okay, I mentioned also that we could see an extension to November 20th on these benefits for the CRB. So far, there hasn't been any rumblings on this. Normally, the NDP and the Green Party are really pushing the Liberals to get things extended. With this potential extension in place for another month, I do see it happening, but nothing has been in the works yet. It's been pretty quiet from the Parliament point of view. However, there was a recent press conference, like I talked about earlier, when they did announce the COVID vaccine requirements for traveling. The final question of that meeting or of that session was regarding the extension of COVID benefits. And they were particularly talking about the COVID business benefits like the wage subsidy, but the CRB is also looped in there as well. There's been pressure from some people in Canada to get these extended and make it happen now because businesses still need it. However, in the answer, obviously we don't get a concrete answer from our political leaders, but they did say they will make sure that Canadians are taken care of during this time. So it's very in line with what Trudeau's said in the past when it came towards crunch time for these CRB extensions. And what ends up happening is right at the last minute, there seems to be an extension. Everyone's kind of ticked off in terms of those in Parliament because they're forced to do some last minute extensions and work overtime in Parliament, but it seems to happen. So right now they got till November 20th. We'll see if that ends up getting pushed. So if you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments below. If you've made it this far in the video, appreciate you watching. Give it a thumbs up. Also, please consider subscribing if you're new here. Again, I'm Nick from Nick's Taxes, and I will see you guys in the next video. Happy taxing.